Let's review how to convert between fractions, decimals, and percentages. For example, if I have 10% and I want to convert that to a fraction, there are two ways to do this. One way is that I could convert it to a decimal first. Let's take a look. Anytime we have a percent, 10%, that means out of 100. So I can take my percent number and write it out of 100, 10 out of 100, and then simplify my fraction. I can divide both of these by 10, and I'm left with 1/10. So 10% is the same as 1/10. Another way I could turn 10% into a fraction is I could turn it into a decimal first. The way you turn a percent to a decimal is in this percent, in 10 whole percent, there's actually an invisible decimal that's right here. So the way we can represent that this is out of 100 is by grabbing this decimal and moving it 2 times to the left and dropping it off. So that means 10% is equal to 0.10. And now that it's a decimal, we can turn that decimal into a fraction by looking at the place value. The place value of the last number is in the hundredths place, and so you should remember that I can make 100, the place value, my denominator, and then my numerator is every number that's to the right of the decimal, so 10 out of 100. We actually just did that. 10 out of 100 we can simplify by 10 on top and on bottom, and we get 1/10. If I wanted to convert 15.4% to a decimal, to convert a percent to a decimal, you grab out the decimal and you're going to move it 2 times to the left to represent that this percent is out of 100. If there's already a decimal in the problem, that's fine. Drop your percent sign and move your decimal 2 times to the left, drop it off. 15.4% equals 0.154, or 154 thousandths. Let's take a look at one more. If I want to convert a fraction to a percent, the first thing I have to do is turn this fraction into a decimal. The way I turn a fraction into a decimal is by dividing top in, bottom out. 4 doesn't go into 3, so I'm going to add a decimal, and now I can add a 0. 4 goes into 30 7 times, because 7 times 4 is 28. I'm left with 2. 4 doesn't go into 2. I can't count by 4 to get to 2, so I'm going to grab a 0 and bring it down. I can count by 4 5 times to get to 20. So that means that 3/4 written as a decimal is 0.75. To convert 0.75 to a percent, I'm going to grab my decimal and move it 2 times to the right. 1, 2, and drop it off. That means 0.75 is 75%. Your turn to practice.